Is that what you want?
All right, let's see.
You're the question asker, I'm not.
Who are you? Is
Wilma Holt.
that what you were born named?
Wilmina.
Wilhelmina?
Yeah.
How do you spell that?
Oh gosh, I'd have to look at my certificate. But they shortened it because it was so long.
Who shortened it?
My mother. I was named after both of my grandmothers,
What were their names?
Wilmina and Mary Ann.
What's your last name?
Gottsally and Mary Ann Thornley.
Thornley.
That was my
I don't
father's,
think we have that one, do we?
father's name,
Uh-huh.
his mother's name. And they were born in England. Thornleys were. Grandma Thornley was. Grandpa Kennedy, I don't know where he was. I guess he was born over in Scotland or someplace. My parents were-
Edward Kennedy was born in Scotland?
Who?
Edward. He's Edward, isn't he?
James Edward.
No,
wasn't it?
James. James.
James Edward.
Yeah.
No, he never had a middle name.
He didn't?
Uh-uh.
Oh, we had-
I
James.
think we said James.
And I think he was born in Scotland. Grandma and Grandpa Gottselig were born in Austria, Germany. But what year, I don't know.
Were they old when you were born, or when you could remember them?
No. Oh, they were all living when I was grown up. You know,
Mhm.
teenager. Because I went to all their funerals. And what else?
How many brothers and sisters did you have?
Let's see. Well, there was 5 girls and 5 boys.
What were the names?
William, and it was me.
Does
Yeah.
this start from the oldest or the
Yeah.
youngest?
The oldest
Okay.
is Bill, then me, then Catherine, then Margaret, Rose, Marie. Then I had a brother in between, Ernest, between Marie and Archie. His name was Ernest.
Was that the blue baby?
Yeah,
We need a blue baby.
yeah, he was about 2 when he died.
What's a blue baby? What was
Well, he had a hole in his chest.
in his chest or in his heart or?
No, it's blue all around in here, you know, it sunk in.
Mhm.
Then I had a brother named Bobby Wayne. He was only lived a few hours. Then I had brother Alvin. He was in the service, and so was all my brothers were in the service, but the younger one.
Service, during what period of time?
Well, Bill was in the Second World War, and so was Archie, and Alvin was in Korea. And let's see.
Were they actually in the?
Oh yeah, Uncle Bill was.
He was a POW.
I know
wasn't
he was a POW.
Yeah, and Archie was in Hawaii. He was stationed in Hawaii.
Had tough duty, huh?
Yeah, no. He's the one who got off easy. And Alvin was in Korea. He was when it was the worst.
Did he fight? Was he?
Oh yeah, he was in
Infantry.
infantry. Yeah,
So when were you born?
born November the 29th, 1912,
Where at?
Monongahela.
In the hospital?
No, in a house. And
What address was the house?
it was Black Diamond. No, Grape Street. Did you look at the cemetery?
Uh-huh.
Well, that's all torn down now.
Who delivered you? Is there a doctor?
Midwife.
Midwife?
Midwife. Yeah.
Oh, was it prearranged in those days?
Yeah, well, this lady, Mrs. Bounce, delivered most of my brothers and sisters, all but the youngest ones, and then they had Dr. Hayes for them. And my dad had to walk, I don't know how far in the snow to go get this lady, because I had always heard about it. And I was a very small baby, they said. They had to carry me around on a pillow. So
Why?
because I was so small, they was afraid to break me, I guess. And
You're still small then.
Yeah. And I don't know. Now what else?
So did they use a midwife because that was the thing to do, or
Yeah,
financially, or?
financially too. Yeah.
Well, did you see the
My father
midwife
was a
through the
coal miner.
pregnancy?
Huh?
Did they see the midwife through the pregnancy, or was it just
No,
wait
she
until
lived
you went to labor?
next door to my grandmother. My grandmother and her were married the same day. They were friends. They even have houses. They bought houses. Neighbors. They raised their kids together.
So they just waited until they went into labor and
Yeah.
got the midwife?
And then she came up, and my dad had to go and get her.
And
Had to walk.
she chases everybody out of the house,
I guess. I don't know.
call for hot water and
Yeah.
towels. Huh?
I guess how they did it then, I don't know. But I know there was no doctor.
Did-
And because I remember them talking about it, you know. But when the younger ones were born, they had Dr. Hayes. He was didn't charge hardly anything. And I know something. When Marie and Rose and Margaret had diphtheria, we got shots for diphtheria. I was about 12, 13, something like that. So I didn't want a shot. Catherine, she run off. But anyhow, I ran upstairs and they come up after me. And I fainted and fell down the steps, you know, rolled down the steps. And we had a gas light, and the gas, I hit the pipe. It went out, so they had to get a flashlight to bring me to. What else was it?
How old were you then?
I was 11, 12, something like that.
So was your dad a coal miner, as far as you
Yeah.
can remember?
Yeah.
How did the family get to that area?
Oh, they lived there. My grandmother lived there, and my dad, he lived. Remember when I took you up to where I used to go to school?
Right.
They lived there. And my mother run off with my dad to get married because my grandmother wanted them to get married Catholic. So my dad said no. So anyhow, she got her. She got them before they even slept together. So this is what they told me. They slept together. She waited for the streetcar. They went to Pittsburgh. So anyhow, that's what happened. So she took him right to the priest's house. And they married him Catholic. But she raised all of us up Catholic. He never complained about it.
What religion was he?
He was Episcopalian.
Active in it?
No.
Or just raised in it?
No. He drank quite a bit. But his own mother had a lot of kids too.
So how did they end up in that part of the country?
They lived there. You didn't travel like you do here.
How far back did it go that they were?
Oh, I don't know. Well, the way I understand, my grandmother Gottsally was in Germany. They must have went together. And my grandfather came over and he got a job in the Black Diamond mine. He was a superintendent. He had money. That's who helped us out a lot, was my grandmother.
Grandfather?
Grandmother, yeah. And he got this job in Black Diamond Mine, so when he got established, he sent for her. Her name was Wilma Mitts, M-I-T-T-S. That's what they told me, so I don't know. And I have only one cousin on my mother's side of his family. We call him Nookie. He's as old as Bill.
Mm-hmm.
And his father died when he was a baby. And my grandmother lost all her children. Young men were babies. Two died when they had diphtheria epidemic. They had diphtheria epidemic at that time. And they were all buried up in one city. My grandmother Kennedy and grandfather Kennedy was shot down over in the First World War. They brought him back and he's buried up. I remember when they brought him back.
He was a pilot?
I don't know whether he was a pilot or he was in the plane or what. But his name was Bobby. I remember that. And I don't know of anything else. Well, they had a big family. She raised two of her sister's kids. That would be my Uncle Archie and what was the other one's name?
Your grandmother did.
My grandmother Kennedy, yeah. Uncle Archie. There was two of them. Archie was a policeman in one city.
Uncle Archie was?
Not our Archie.
Her
no.
Uncle Archie.
I don't know. What was the other one's name? Alice. Because she raised their two kids too.
What was the last name?
Kennedy. Yeah. That's about all I know about them. But I do know my grandmother got all that because I lived with her ever since I was a teenager.
Is that right?
Oh,
Did you
yeah.
get kicked out of your house?
No, my mother was always making me do the work. So I'd do her work and then come up and I'd have to do all the work and those other kids just went out and played and I didn't get no time to play.
I mean Marie and Catherine?
No, Marie was a young one. Catherine was just 12 or 13 months younger than me.
Uh-huh.
And Margaret, she was a little younger. They were all big enough to help. And so when I did that, I had to do my grandmother's first. And then I had to come up to my mother's and do hers. My grandmother said, "This is enough, Annie." She called her Annie. She said, "She's going to come with me. She's staying down with me." So ever since that, she never let me stay up there.
How old were you?
Oh, about 14. I had a job when I was 15, working, taking care of Bill and I are the ones that helped raise that family because my dad couldn't work today. He didn't pass for a physical.
What, when he had black lung?
No, he had his eyes. Neil took him when he was 9 years old in the mine. He worked when he was 9 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And he had a big scar here, I guess, using his eyes so much that he could see shadows. But he didn't know even us unless we talked to him.
Mm-hmm. So how old were you when that happened?
Oh, I remember going with my grandfather in his Willie, he had a Willie's knife. And he took him to this place to get examined for a job. Mining town, I think it was. Oh, it was a good piece anyhow. Anyhow, he didn't pass. Died. So after that, he never got a job. I was only just a kid. I just remember it, you know. Bill, he got a job through friends of ours. He got a job over across the river, and I got a job at Channelway, and I worked there 6 years.
A little store, wasn't it?
It was a pretty big store.
Department store or food store?
No, it's mostly food and sugar. You had to put your sugar in the thing, weigh it, and your beans and all that, you know.
Like a
you
general store, huh?
Yeah, you didn't have what you have now, you know. And then we used to put orders up, and they'd have the truck
Delivery truck?
drivers, yeah, would deliver orders clear down to New Eagle. Oh, yeah. And then I got mad at my mother. I said, "Oh, the heck with this." I got mad at my mother, and I quit that job, went to Pittsburgh. And I got a job down there, but I couldn't stay away from one city.
So when you went to Pittsburgh, you were going to live there and work?
No,
Or commute?
No, I got, stayed in with the lady, you know,
Mhm.
got a job. I looked in the paper first. I was smart. I looked in the paper and looked to see anybody that you could make your home with.
Yeah.
And it's this person I did, and I liked her. Dermont is where they lived. So I went there the next day and got the job.
What did you actually do there?
Clean, take care of the little kid.
A nanny.
So
You were a nanny.
sort of, yeah. Well, no, they didn't want me to quit. But I quit, I came home. Then I got a job down our end of town. They had a store there. Because I was experienced where your grandfather got interested in it. In fact, he used to bring bread to the other store, but I never paid any attention to him. My boss would always say, "Well, here comes your boyfriend." I said, "Yeah, like that." And so anyhow, I never paid any attention to him because I wasn't interested in boys. So anyhow, I started working down there. And they had a bet, him and this friend of his. I bet you can't take her out. He kept tormenting me and tormenting me. And he said to me, "Hey, Red, how about a date?" And I said, "Are you crazy?" Like that. He says, "No, but I'd like to date you." And I said, "No, I don't date guys like you." Because I thought he was so wonderful.
Uh-huh.
And so it was a long time until he left home. Now I feel sorry for him.
How old was he then?
Oh, he'd been in the National Guard and everything else. He quit school already too. And so this couple of mine, they're friends of mine, Chataway, he wanted to get married, and I said, "No, I don't want to get married. I'm working." He wasn't working. So anyhow, he says, "Let's get married." Well, Bertha and Sonny said, he pumped them, he told them.
This was Chataway or?
Chataway, yeah. And he says, "I like to marry that girl. So they said, "Well, they'll see what they can do." So they talked me into it. I said, "All right."
You were gonna marry Chataway?
No, I was going to
Grandma?
marry your grandfather. I said, "But I don't want anybody to know about it, not even my family." Of course, I was old enough then. I was 23, almost 23. So anyhow, they said, "Okay, we'll take it to Wilma." So they took us to Wilma, and we got married by a preacher, Methodist preacher. And so anyhow, coming back, nothing was said. We never even slept that night or anything. I never let on, and he never let on. But boy, the next 2 weeks, he told everybody and that end of town that I was his wife. Oh, I was so mad. And then after that, they didn't hire married women then.
Mm-hmm.
So my boss says, well, they were going to close the store. She said, "Well, we're taking up there that you're married, so we can't, take you up there because you're married." So I was out of a job. Then I got pregnant with Harold.
No, wait a minute. This is Chataway. You're married to Chataway?
No, I married
Oh, okay.
Holt.
Chataway talked to me.
I married
Okay.
Harold Holt. They took us
Mm-hmm.
to get married. They were friends of mine because I knew them from working up there.
Yeah.
And so anyhow, how was that? So after that, I got pregnant with Harold. We had a little one-room, third story, little kitchen, bathroom, living, just nothing. Oh, furniture was dump, and a bed, and the ceiling went like this. So I got mad at him one day, and I said, "Well, I'm going downtown to my mother's house."
Mm-hmm.
So I went. I had Harold the next day.
Is that right?
That
Well, what
night
did your
I went
parents
to
think
labor.
of you marrying him?
Huh?
What did your parents think when they finally found out you married him?
They said, "Well, you made your bed, lie in it." What they said.
A lot of sympathy there, huh?
Yeah. So anyhow, I had Harold, but my mother, she was crazy about Harold. See, it wasn't our first grandchild. Catherine was married long before I was. She had 2 kids before I even had Harold. We even got married. She got married when she was 16.
And you were 23?
Almost 23, yeah. I got married in September, and I've been 23 in November.
So how long after you got married did you have Harold?
Well, 11 months. He was born in August.
Now, when did Harold develop his problems?
Well, let's see. His stomach started to swell. And I didn't know. I just thought it was just part a lot of people said, well, you know, when they get a certain age, 2 years old or a little younger, if they get plucked up, you know. So I figured that's what it was. But then it kept going, you know. So, but he asked this doctor over, neighbor doctor, and he said, well, what do you think? He's in his second summer, you know. He'll be all right, but he kept getting diarrhea and stuff. So anyhow, I said, well, I'm going to take him to another doctor. And he wasn't but he was very active.
That's what I was just gonna ask, was he healthy?
Oh,
other than
yeah,
the pot and the diarrhea?
he climbed over the banister to go up to see his grandma, you know, and he was just, I don't think he was even quite 2. And this neighbor lady caught him. She said, Wilma, I caught little Harold running up the street. I said, oh my goodness. So I had bought a gate to put him, you know, out the front door, because I was pregnant with him. No, I had your mother. She was a baby. And so anyhow, I bought this gate. And here the other people on the other side didn't have a gate. So he climbed over between the 2 porches.
Mm-hmm.
And he was got out that way. So I went in, got him, and went in the house.
Was this the house on Chest Street?
Huh?
This house on Chest Street?
Yeah. Watched him, I always lived in that afterwards. Watched him see how he did it. And I said, well, you're not going out there no more, because he did it right after I put him back out in the porch. So anyhow, I took him to the doctor's. And he says, take him down and see him get a blood test. So I did. And they said, I went back. He says, why don't you take him in the Pittsburgh Children's Hospital? So I did. And I kept looking at all these doctors. There's about 5 doctors looking at him. And they kept pressing him out, and they said, he's like the big as an orange. Nah, you know how they talk. They had him on his table. So I kept looking at each other's faces. You know how you do when you have kids. So anyhow, they said, you better leave him here. So anyhow, I left it. I went home. They called 2 days later. They said, Mrs. Holt, we would like to have you and your husband come down and let's operate. So anyhow, we went. They took one of his kidneys. They thought they had the whole tumor. So they said, well, we'll keep him here until he's able to go home, and then we went down every other day to see him. We borrowed somebody's car. We didn't have a car. So anyhow, we left him. So they said, well, a couple weeks later, about 3 weeks, you can come down and get him. We think he'll be fine. We got him home. I took him to the Veterans Parade. It was in November. That's why I bought that little suit for him, that suit. And to take him out, I bought it new. Took him out for this parade, and that was in November the 11th. So we had him home for Christmas. His stomach started, it was terrible. Started to come up again. So anyhow, I said, after the first of the year, he's going back. So Buster and I took him back. And they said, we'll leave him there again. So we did. They took all the water out. I guess it was fluid in him, So anyhow, that was fine. So we left him there for a couple more weeks. Brought him home. I don't think he was home 2 weeks. I forget a lot of it, because everything happened at once. So he was home. His stomach started to, and he wouldn't go to anybody but my mother and me, And he was so hard to hold, because he was heavy, and I was real thin, And so anyhow, his dad came home off the boat. He worked he says, we gotta do something. And I says, well, I don't know what to do. But they told me to take him home and enjoy him while I can, you know, and that's what I'm doing.
Did they give an indication that he was?
Oh yeah, they told me. They said, we don't care where you take him. You're gonna lose him. So Bus wasn't satisfied. Naturally, that was his first boy, you know. By the way, his name was Harold William. So anyhow, that was okay. So he said, I'll fix that. So he goes, puts it in the paper, Pittsburgh paper. We got all kinds of letters and little kids wanting to send money, but, you know, they didn't have money then. And the only thing that we had was this doctor in New Rochelle. Him and his wife were doctors. So anyhow, they sent this telegram. Well, we didn't have any money. I didn't have any money to fly there. So the TWA sent a ticket. Yeah, sent a ticket.
Had they read the thing out of the paper too?
And they must have had a ticket. And they sent this ticket. They didn't send a ticket. They called a neighbor. We didn't even have a phone. Called a neighbor and said for us to be in Pittsburgh to take the boy to New York. And I was praying. I said, if you don't live, your mother was only, I didn't even have her weaned. I said, God, if you died, let me go too. You know, because it was an awful thing, you know. So anyhow, we got to New York, or New Rochelle. There was an ambulance there waiting for us. We went through these tunnels, you know, the tunnels in New York for Jersey.
Yeah.
And we went to the hospital. So they took us right in, you know. So anyhow, I had your mother at home. I hadn't had her weaned. She was staying with my mother, but still, she wasn't her mother.
Yeah.
So I said, oh, God, this is terrible to have one here and one there. So I decided to go home. I said, well, I have a baby. Well, he'll be fine. We'll take care of him. Well, I figured, well, he was being taken care of. Well, I didn't know how she was because I knew my mother, you know. So I said, well, I better go home. So we went home, or I went home, and I was, say, March the 16th, I took him. That was on Catherine's birthday. That was in March. I took him to New York. So he was there, and he was coming along fine. So the doctor and his wife took him to their home. And, you know, they took care of him at their home. Took him out of the hospital. So anyhow, that was okay. They kept writing to us and saying that he was getting along. First thing I knew, Les and I had a bunch of clothes to take for him for his birthday. It was August 16th. So anyhow, this couple of friends of ours would take us. So we got a ride with them. And here we went. We both cried. The doctor says, who is that, Harold? That's my real mommy and daddy. They must have taught him to call them, because he was smart. So anyhow, they said they was going to put him back in the hospital, that there's nothing we could do but just go home and wait, you know. So we went home. And I forget what day it was they called. He said one of his parents should come. So anyhow, I went. Friends of ours gave me the money to get on a plane and go. So anyhow, I went, and oh God, it was terrible. So anyhow, he couldn't eat. They had intravenous. So I never forgot this. I was sitting there by the bed with him. That's why I said that really hurt anybody, you know. He opened up his eyes and he said, I don't want to go far away, I want to stay here. Plain as day. So anyhow, I started crying hard, you know. So anyhow, that was a terrible thing. Then the doctors came in, about half hour or so later, because they heard me, you know. So anyhow, they said, we're going to take him up to the operating room, and this is before the doctors took him.
Mm-hmm.
Later on, we're going to take him up and open the vein up and put it to him, because he said it's all shriveled up, and we can't put the needle in it. And he needs nourishment. So what could I do? I had to say, okay, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But before that, he opened up his eyes and he looked up and he said, I'm coming, I'm coming. Last words I heard. But he did say when they will, I said, Mommy will be here when you come back home. Okay, Mommy, that was it. That's the last I heard. They took him up and then about an hour later they come down and told me. Now, I was there by myself. And I had to ride home on a bus.
Mm-hmm.
And the Chataways met me in Pittsburgh. That's a terrible thing to go through. But really, maybe he was better off. I don't know.
What was he actually diagnosed as having?
Well, it was cancer. That's what it was, yeah, it was cancer. They don't know what caused it, him being so young, you know. Of course, I smoked, and I often blamed it on that, but whether it was that or not, I don't know. Because they didn't know then either, you know. And I told the doctors, I said, why couldn't they find something? When we know how it's caused, we'll find it. Well, that was, say, 49 years ago. They know more now, see. So maybe little Sarah would have gone like that for all you know, but I doubt it.
Hers wasn't the same.
No, whether he fell or anything, I don't remember falling. But I did work when I carried it.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to reach up. I worked at
That used to
Kroger's.
be a wives' tale, wasn't it? You're not supposed to reach up over your head?
Yeah, I climbed up on the shelves. I worked at Kroger's in Mon City.
Uh-huh.
They had a Kroger's, and you know how long ago that was. That was that summer that I worked, and I was pregnant. So I'd reach up, never thinking, you know, me and my first one, heck, who would think of something like that? And I couldn't reach something because it was always short. I'd step on the next shelf, and then up on the next shelf, and then try to reach, then jump down. Well, heck, I was young then compared to what I am now. So anyhow, that's what I did. And that's what I blamed it on, really.
No, I think that would have done it.
I don't know, but I said I'd never do that again if I was ever pregnant, which I did get pregnant. But,
So what did, you said when you met, that Grandpa delivered bread.
when I first saw him, yeah.
So what was his background? How did he come into being?
Oh, well, he was
Where was he born?
born in Brownsville.
Brownsville, what?
No, he's born in Hamilton, Ontario.
Ontario, okay.
Yeah. To Benjamin Holt and Florence Brewster. They were born in England, but they lived in Canada later on. And his mother was married before. His mother was married before she married his dad.
Did she have any kids?
She had two, but they both died. That's what Dick and him told me. That's all I know.
Mm-hmm. Now Dick was his brother?
No, Uncle Walter was married to his mother's sister. Her name was Ada, and I learned a lot from her too.
Mm-hmm.
That's when she told me their name. See, they used to come to our place to stay, you know. And his father was a railroad, worked on the railroad. They lived in Brownsville, I don't know.
Is that in Pennsylvania?
Oh, yeah, it's right above where Grandfather used to go through the locks up there. So anyhow, I don't know when they moved to Mon City. I really don't. But all I remember them Somebody said they lived in Elizabeth before they moved to Mon City. I don't know. But they lived in that house around the corner from us on Main Street.
Mm-hmm.
That was a church property.
Church of the Nazarene there?
Yeah, well, his second wife belonged to that. So he left home too, you know. He ran away a couple times, and when he was young.
Mm-hmm.
And his dad would always go after him, though, you know. But I think it's the stepmother. They didn't care for her too much, you know. Ada still does, talks about her. You know.
Ada is...
His only sister.
Okay.
Ada.
Is she a lot young? She's a lot younger than him?
Yeah, she's only 60 or 70 now.
Anna is that old?
Yeah, she's 70. Yeah.
Oh, I know she...
And well, your grandfather would be 75. I was a few months older than him.
Yeah.
He'd be 76 in July. So anyhow, he left home, and he rented this little place, I don't know, it was a sort of a shanty life or something. And I guess he enjoyed it, you know. He was a wild guy, and he belonged to the National Guard. So that's how we got started. Of course, he asked me for dates, I don't know how many times. I wouldn't pay him. But I wasn't dating him. I wasn't interested in guys. So I never knew he made a bet. I said, boy, if I'd have known you'd made a bet, Bus, you're never going to marry me. Because I said, if I'd have known that, I said, I could have anybody at that time, you know.
Uh-huh.
He laughed about it. He thought it was funny. I didn't.
So what was his real name?
His name was Harold.
Harold.
That's all. Just Harold Holt.
Harold Holt?
Yeah.
How did you get the nickname Bus?
Yeah, we always.
How's that?
Well, you know why he's so ornery. They always call
Paul
him.
Buster?
Yeah, they always call him Buster. He's always into trouble. He used to run away a lot, I guess. So anyhow, his grandmother, his stepmother said, she told me this, she said, when I found out you married him, she said, I felt sorry for you. You know, because she said, he's so wild. Well, we stuck it together. Maybe it's a long time it is, but I stuck it out. I figured, well, I only got married once. That's what all I was going to do. So I said, we got along pretty good after all. Now what?
How do you get involved in the river boats?
Oh, he had these, traveled on these little boats. And
What do you mean by little? What did they do?
Well, they just had one or two barges. They were just small boats. Well, he went to this seance up in Charleroi. This guy worked on the river.
The guy holding the seance?
No, not the guy that was holding the seance. The guy that heard the seance man telling your grandfather about this. And he said to him, he says, you are going to get a job. Because he wasn't working. He said, you are going to get a job. And you are going to go far in this job when you get it. This kind of work when you get it. I told him I didn't believe it, you know. So anyhow, some guy called the neighbors and asked for Bus Holt. And here was this guy that gave him a chance to work on those small boats, because he owned one. So finally he got on that. He worked for a little while. Then he said, well, the hell with this. I'm going to go down to U.S. Steel. So he went to U.S. Steel and he was hired as a deckhand.
Mm-hmm.
He traveled clear down to New Orleans. He was gone, and I had those two kids.
Is that right? How long would it be gone at a time?
Oh, it'd be about 4 weeks, 5 weeks.
Mm.
So, anyhow, he said, well, this is enough for me. I'm going to go higher. So he got a mate's job. You have to study for those, you know.
The mate?
Yeah.
You have to know about navigation and all that stuff?
Yeah, and how to twist everything and everything. So anyhow, that was okay. He was a mate for a long time. Then he went to pilot. Oh, he had to take a tough test. I took it right with him. Yes, sir. So he went down and had to pass the pilot test on the Coast Guard. So he worked himself up that way. He had that for a good while. And he said, well, I might as well go all the way. So he went down. Of course, I didn't have to help him with that because he knew all about the thing. So then he started to work up closer. You know, he didn't have to go down south. But I don't know how many trips. He made good many trips down south. And then he got his captain's job. And he worked there until he had his stroke.
Now, how many barges would they push at a time?
Oh, sometimes 6 or 8. And when he first started, they didn't have radar. But after they started, you know, having radar, they didn't stop those boats. They had to go, unless the river was too high to get under the bridges. And so they could haul more coal, so they wouldn't tie up. And I would have to take him down to Clareton every time he, you know, tied up and go pick him up. That's after I learned to drive and all. And sometimes it'd be almost midnight. I had to go down there myself. Colored town. Because he'd say, keep the doors locked, keep the doors locked. One time I went down there, buddy. I didn't know I was going to make it. It was so icy.
Is that right?
Oh, I think he was worried too, you know. He said, you know, he said, I didn't think you'd make it. I said, Bus, I'll make it. If I kill myself, I'll make it.
How far was Clareton?
Well, it was, good, hour and a quarter, maybe about an hour. It's almost to Pittsburgh, you might say. Down on this side of the river where we lived. Yeah, he got off down there. Especially when they tied up, he went clear down to the end. But when they just, you know, had to get on the boat, I'd take him to the shanty where the guards were. And then he'd walk through.
Well, when he came home, how long would he get to stay home?
Well, at first, it was only a couple days. Then it was 5. He would work 10 and off 5. Then it worked 7 and off 7. So it was too much time for him to be off. He didn't know what to do with himself. But,
You go down to the Eagles, huh? You go down to the Eagles?
No, Moose.
Moose?
Yeah, he never bothered him. Or up at the bar, he'd go up there. And he had a good life, as long as it lasted. Then I think Penny was, how old are you?
28.
I went down for Christmas anyhow. I'll never forget this as long as I live. He was going to go, we were going to go after Christmas. As soon as he got after the first of the year, as soon as he got his vacation. Because they couldn't take their vacation until the first of the year. Because he'd already had that year.
Yeah.
So anyhow, he said he was going to go. We could go together. So I said, okay, I'll wait for you. Do you know he came home and when I had to take him back, he said, if you're going to Florida, you better go because I'm not going. I said, now you tell me. I said, okay. You know what I did? I didn't even have a suitcase. I went to Charleroi and got 2 suitcases. I tried to make airplane reservations, and Christmas time you couldn't make them. This was Christmas night that he went back to work, not Christmas Eve, Christmas night. So anyhow, I says, all right, I'll fix you. So I called the airline. No, I'm sorry. take you, you know. So I called all of them that went to Florida. So I said, well, there's only one other thing to do is take a bus. So that's what I did. I took a bus. And that's how I got to Florida. And that is when he had his stroke.
Is that right? How long were you down for?
Oh, I stayed. Dick was down there too. Down at your mother's.
Uh-huh.
See, it either Marie was, it was you or Marie.
I don't remember Dick.
I remember Uncle Dick a couple times coming.
You don't remember? But anyhow, I went, and your mother and dad picked me up. I think you were there too.
Probably.
Down in Miami. And so Betty Spencer called me. Of course, we had a phone then.
That was your next door neighbor, right?
Yeah.
Up in the house.
And she said, Wilma, she said, day after New Year's. So anyhow, she said, Wilma, Bus had a stroke. I said, he what? She said, he had a stroke. I said, oh my God. So she said, up on the wall, you know.
Up on the wall.
Yeah, knocked on the wall, and she went over to see. She sent her husband over. So Gil said, well, here he was, he couldn't get back upstairs. And he had this rug that I had right on the steps, you know.
Mm-hmm.
He had it just like that, trying to get up the steps, and he couldn't make it. So he knocked on the wall. So they took him to the hospital. They shackled him. Do you know that he got all those shackles? He was going to get out of that hospital no matter what. But anyhow, they made him stay. Anyhow, I don't know what they did, tranquilizer or something. But anyhow, I said, well, I should go home. And Dick says, no, don't go home. Let him suffer. He wouldn't come when you wanted him to. So I said, no. So anyhow, I was worried, so I said, Bill, I better go. I think somebody else called me too. Somebody called me. So I said, well, I better go. You know. I went home, and you should have seen him. He was still in the hospital. I went to pick him up. He said, but goddamn time you come home. I said, you're lucky I even came home. You know, like that. Did you know you had to go get a drink at the bar before we even went home?
Alright.
And he could hardly walk. He rubbed his foot. In his hand, he could hardly, his right hand, you know. No, it was left hand. He couldn't hardly hold anything in it. He had to go get that drink. So they told me, the neighbors told me, he had a heck of a good time.
Is that what brought it on? He got tied on New Year's Eve? Or?
For a couple of weeks. This was after New Year's.
Oh.
Been a couple of weeks after, or a week or so. I don't know. I forget. Your mother might know. And anyhow, I went home. And there I found him like that. And they told me. And his stepmother said, Wilma, you should have seen him. He could already put the. We rented a garage because we had that new DeSoto, you know.
I remember that.
I remember this.
And so we rented this garage. Said he couldn't even get it in the garage right. You left it out all night. So anyhow, his stepmother told me that. And I said, oh well, I'm here now, so I don't know what's going to happen. And he had a stroke. He went back to work, but he didn't make it. So he had to have an examination.
Huh.
And that's when he, that was in, he died in 66. And he was sick 4 years. How old are you, Penny?
28.
What year was you born?
60.
60. And Marie,
It was 65.
Marie was born
55. That's when I went. And Marie was a baby.
No, it couldn't be.
65. No.
Not if you were. I think he was sick for 4 years. It wouldn't have been
No,
20.
he's been dead 60. He died.
If you died in 66.
He was sick 4 years.
Yeah, so
prior to that.
Yeah,
So that would have been 62.
yeah.
so it was me.
Yeah,
Huh?
would have been her.
That would have been you. I know your mother was having one of them.
Yeah, because Marie was 65. Marie was
Yeah.
only a year old when he died.
I think your mother was having you.
Yeah. Because that was December.
Yeah, I was born
Yeah.
At my
Because
Christmas.
I said I'm going regardless. You know, I said to myself, I'm
She
going.
had already had me.
Yeah, but I didn't, that wasn't my fault.
Yeah, I came early.
Huh?
I
Yeah.
came early.
So did he take a medical retirement then?
Yeah, he got on pension, he got $150 a month, and then he got 110 on Social Security.
And you moved down and bought a trailer?
We bought a trailer. Still had our house.
Moved into Winkin, Blinkin, and Nod.
Yeah. Remember that?
Yeah.
You,
I remember the trailer.
you wouldn't let me, you wouldn't let your mother wash her hair or anything?
I remember.
Wednesday.
I had to go out and wash her hair.
You worked
Every
at
night.
Medford's.
Huh?
You worked at Medford's.
Medford thing, yeah, I got a job right away. And I came down. Because I had the experience.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got tired of that. I was held up a couple of times, so.
Did they lock you in the
Checked.
cooler or something? Did they hold you up and lock you in the cooler?
Yeah, me and the other guy. And the first time, it was just me, you know. And it was a white guy. They were both white guys. But we never found out whether this guy that shot this bartender up in Highland, on the same street, East 4th Avenue, whether it was him that held us up or what. It was during the races.
Mm-hmm.
You had all that kind of people. But he's the one that robbed me first time. I thought he was just a guy coming in for cigarettes. Started to ring him up. He said, put the money in the bag. And
You have a gun?
yeah, he had a gun. I wasn't taking no chances. So they told me any time that they come in. But after that, I hid money. You know, because people would forget stuff, and we had a lot of business at night. And I would put it in a bag, and then when I left to go home, they gave me the safe thing and everything else, and I put it in the safe. But the guy was always there too, you know. But hell, he wasn't going to take any chances of getting shot. So I said, "Oh, Bob." That was the helper's name, you know. So he comes back and he said, "What do you want?" And I said, "This guy's holding me up." Said, "You two get back to prison." I said, "Oh my God, my daughter will be worried about me. My husband will be worried about me." He was still living. He wanted me to quit then. Gonna quit that, you'll get killed. We was living in a trailer.
Yeah, you gave us bimbo.
Uh,
You gave us bimbo. I remember going to pick him up at Medford.
Yeah, that's
Remember
right.
that?
That dog.
what?
That dog y'all gave us.
A little black and white dog.
We had it?
Somehow, it must have been somebody that you knew at Medford's was giving them away.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
Because we went to pick it up there.
Because they were nice to me. They were real nice. But then, Jackie got me a job at Kim Color when I quit.
Wasn't it Monkey Color or something you started?
Quit Kim Color.
I think they just called it monkey color.
No, it was Kim Color. They called it Kim Color because the guy's wife was named Kim. And he called her, you know, he called her.
That was a photo processing
Yeah,
place?
yeah. I don't know whether it's still there or not.
What'd you do for him?
I lined albums, you know, like Laura has done here.
Mm-hmm.
We just made the covers. Put them through a machine and glue them on, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we did. And I worked there a few years. I don't even know why I quit. Oh, they laid us off.
Laid us off, laid off,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
What was Mom like growing up?
Huh?
What was Mom like growing up?
Oh, she was fun. She was a beautiful little girl. She had curly hair, red. Yeah, she was the talk of the town about that girl.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Redheads are popular then.
Yeah. They are now, too. Only you just don't hear it. don't like her hair. Now she's got beautiful hair. You know, I still have a lock of your hair. It's your grandfather that was in his wallet. I got it in my wallet now.
We'll keep it. That's less than I have to have.
Yeah. Yeah, he had it in his wallet, so I put it in mine when he died. He said, I'm keeping this. And I put it in my wallet. I look at it every once in a while. It hasn't changed colors.
Mm-mm.
Did Grandpa make pretty good money working on the mill?
Yeah, at that time, yeah. But he kept most of it. I tell you. One time I went to Grandma, down at Grandma Holt's, you know. She just lived around the corner.
Right.
And I used to put on his sweater because it was cool. And I had a habit of putting my hand in his pocket. You know. It was a gray sweater. I'll never forget it. It was a button-down gray sweater and it had two pockets, one on each side. So anyhow, I didn't know he was getting this back money. So when I got into Grandma's, I shut my hand in. Oh gosh, she's got something in there, you know, like that. Tore it. I pulled out this wad of bills. It was over $1,000 in there.
Oh. Did you put it back or did you take
Yeah,
it?
I put it back. I wanted to see if he said anything. He didn't say anything. I said, what are you going to do with that money? It's in that wallet, in that pocket. He said, what money? I said, you're darn lucky that I didn't lose it. I said, I stuck my hand in the pocket and pulled out this. That's mine. I said, well, you're not going to spend all that money. He said, I'm going to do something with it. So he bought your mother a ring. He bought me a ring. I don't know what else he bought. He kept the rest.
Did he gamble with it or something?
No, he just drank it all up.
Where did he get it? Did he just keep it out of his paycheck?
No, he had back money. See, when they get a raise, they don't give it to them right away.
Mm-hmm.
They,
It's all retroactive?
yeah, they keep it there. It was over $1,000. I said, you ought to lost. Now, I wasn't the type to keep it, probably, you know.
I probably would have kept it.
I'm not the type to do that. And so anyhow, I said, from now on, you pay for the car. Because I had to pay all the bills.
He gave you an allowance, like? And you
Yeah,
did
yeah, I had to pay all the bills. If it was up to him, we wouldn't have had nothing that I had to do with that. For my kids, you know. And they had everything that was gone, clothes and everything.
Did they?
Oh, yeah.
You gave him everything, huh?
Huh?
You gave him everything, huh?
Oh, yeah. Bertha was always dressed cute. And toys, she had everything, like the longs in the kitchen, you know. She had a stove, a little washing machine and everything. And they had a playhouse. Jack had, Rose's husband had to build a playhouse out in the yard. And they took it all out there and it got rusty. It was made out of tin. They used to play out there. Oh, and Rich, that was after it was run down. I think he was about Justin's age. He was out there. And they had a board with a nail in it. He was, you know, like your boy. He curled up that plank and slid down and cut his rear end open. I mean, it was, all you could see was the flesh. So anyhow, I said, I can't take him. I can't take him. I can't look at him. He had his little overalls. He had these overalls on and underpants too, you know. And I said, well, I can't take it. I said, oh, I can't take it. So he took it. Jack took it. And he said, well, he had a lot of stitches. Rich said he still has the scar. Oh, it was a mess. He was lucky. He didn't get his privates, you know. And he did say, my bummy hurts. That's what he said. And,
Didn't you go to nursing school? Weren't you a
yeah,
LPN or something?
yeah,
I remember going to the graduation.
yeah. Your mother and you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever go into it?
No, I did. This lady on Main Street, Becky Boggs, but I didn't care for her too much.
But what made you do it?
Well, I wanted to be independent. You know, when I got my kids were in school, I wanted to be independent too. But your grandfather didn't want me to go and take the job. You have enough here to do. Raise those kids, you have enough to do. That's what he told me. Because I said, my uncle even wanted me to work for him. Had a store on Martin Avenue. He said, Wilma, do you want a job? Come. So I said to the boss, I said, Uncle Walter wants to give me a job. You take that job, I'm taking the kids and getting out. I don't know why he never wanted me to work.
As independent as you are and as whatever that he was, y'all must have got into it pretty good.
Oh, we did. Yeah, we had different temperaments. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Then finally I did leave.
Did you?
Yeah, I said, I'm leaving. He came crawling for me. I wasn't going to come back. No way.
How long did you leave him?
I forget. He cried and everything else.
What, a couple days, couple weeks?
Oh, it was a while. I forget, it's been so long ago.
Was that after the kids were born?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because he would have taken the kids. He said, I can get those kids. You ain't making any money. So I even went to a lawyer and everything else, but he wouldn't have been able to got them. He'd never got them.
He wasn't home much.
No, and he was drinking.
Yeah.
See, it made a difference. But,
Did his temperament change when he drank?
oh yeah, his dad drank. And that's why I think the way Doris's mother told her that when that grandfather's father will be your great-grandfather, and her, or Doris's mother, were small. I guess the father drank a lot, and they wasn't taking care of the kids. I don't know what happened to the mother, whether she died or what. Anyhow, she said that these kids were in a home, were put in a home. No, I think it was Dick that told me that. Dick or Uncle Walter, one of them told me. And so anyhow, Doris did tell me, she said that they were raised in the home, and she said, I guess it was so mean, you know. And she said that that maybe that's why your great-grandfather wouldn't have anything to do with her mother. And she was crazy to see there was only two of them, too. And so anyhow, she said she couldn't figure, her mother couldn't figure out what was the matter. But, you know, them being the only two and raised the way they were, that they would be better. But you know, Ada and them never knew it. Never said anything. And I'll tell you the kind of shoes, she sent me these shoes. This is the kind of shoes they wore.
In the home?
In the home. Only they were, she said they were clodhoppers like.
Now, where was this home at?
In England. See that?
Can you get the shoe on?
They had steel around. She sent me these.
They look like they'd be heavy.
Yeah, well, she said they were. But you know, you've seen these movies on about the English homes.
Yeah.
That's the way I pictured them. I don't know. But she said they were mean to them and they had to do so much work and all. But that's why I think that they say you inherit drinking. I don't know.
Yeah, they say it.
Seems to run like that.
And my dad drank. And Rich drinks, and of course Buddy don't. But he got in the right company.
Yeah.
Could have. I used to drink a lot in high school.
Yeah.
And we'd go out on the weekends.
Oh, yeah? Well,
Oh, remember when Dad died?
yeah.
And it was Scott Erickson we brought over that night. Stayed at the house.
Yeah. But you were married then.
No. This is when I was in high school when Grandpa Fosdick died.
Oh, when your
Yeah.
grandpa died. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I was Did you?
Thought you said your dad. Yeah, I knew you were.
I think I said that. No, when Grandpa Fosdick died, Scott came over and we were drinking then. We'd take the empty beer bottles and throw them across the street on the Cuban's roof.
Oh, no. I didn't know that. Maybe it's a good thing you got married when you did, huh? They say that you inherit, and I think that's what
so.
it does, too. Because my father drank, his father drank.
Now, did you ever?
Oh, I drank beer years ago.
Now you don't think anything.
Oh, no.
So what did you guys used to do for recreation when you were a kid?
Us. I went in swimming. We went in swimming. My brother took me if swimmer drowned, and I was drowning. You know, my third cousin saved me, or I wouldn't have been here.
Didn't you eventually learn to swim the river?
I did, yeah. But I went behind a boat too and almost drowned. The wheelers, you know, they had those big wheelers. I said, boy, if I ever get all this, I was pretty well grown up too. And it looked so easy. Everybody's head was bobbing up and down, you know. Well, I can swim. I can do that. I did. I almost drowned. I got water in my eyes, water in my nose.
Oh, what'd you do when you got to the other side? Have to swim back?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we did. And then we had boyfriends across the river, so they'd bring us back sometime. But, and then one time, I did something, and we had a porch. And the house didn't have a foundation. It was like setting up on something, I don't know. But anyhow, I must have done something. And I heard my grandmother. I did. I was going to get a beating. I hid under this porch. And I remember my grandmother saying, Annie, if anything happened to her, she says, you are going to get it. And here I was under there giggling. I think I was about, 11, 12, something like that. Oh, I used to be a little bugger too, you know. And she told me to do something. Wash dishes or something, I don't know. But anyhow, I was under there giggling and doing something. I did something. Pretty soon I heard my mother say, look under the porch, or under the house. There's where I was. She said, you're going to get it. Don't you touch her, my grandmother said, you know. Because she always took my part.
Were you her favorite?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. If it was up to me, I wouldn't have had to share. It was up to me. I told her not to leave that house to me unless she leaves it to all of us. She said, what for? She said, you're the only one that thinks about me. You know, that it's close to me, you know, which I was. I stayed with them. And I said, no, Grandma. I said, you'd rather give it to all of us. Mm-hmm. And that's what she did. And when my grandmother died, then my mother told me that she had a fix. I said, I knew she was fixing it because she told me. She left my mother a house and she left my cousin a house. So they were pretty well fixed. He had a car, a Willie's Knight. I was learning to drive. My grandfather would come up to work. He'd pick me up. We lived downtown. I lived downtown. I stayed with him. And I was learning to drive. So anyhow, he would come up and he'd let me drive back. So after I got my lessons, I said to Grandpa, I said, can I take the car myself and drive to work? He said, oh, no. No. So anyhow, that was how I learned to drive the first time, but then I forgot because he wouldn't let me drive, and then I got married. We didn't have a car. So, but I took my test up on Martin Avenue right above their house. They passed it. So, but he wouldn't let me take it. And then there was hardly any traffic, you know. But then I had to walk to work. If he hadn't taken me or came and got me, I would have had to walk. Because I'd given all my money to my mother and the kids, you know.
But you were staying with your grandmother.
And I was staying with my grandmother.
Doesn't make sense.
Well, they needed it. Well, what did you do? And then I started to smoke. I'll never forget this. Oh, I done some good ones, you know. So anyhow, anytime they'd find cigarettes, they'd hide 'em. So I would get home from work and I'd want a cigarette and go up in the bathroom and open, have one of these tilt windows, you know, and I would want to smoke because I never smoked in front of them. So anyhow, I'd go up there and my grandfather would go up right after and he'd say, "Well, if you want to smoke that bad, I'll give you my pipe." So anyhow, every time I'd have cigarettes, I'd hide them in my pockets and my coat and everything else. So anyhow, she said that. This one day I went night for a cigarette. Always late at night. You know that little store next to our house?
Aldena's?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Aldina's. Well, Aldina's didn't have it then, it was Navy's. And I went from, it was about 3 blocks. Got up, went down, got cigarettes. And I said to my grandmother the next day, I said, "Grandma, don't take my cigarettes because you're spending my money, nobody else's." Then I got her a couple dollars. I asked my boss if I could have a few dollars of my own. He said, "Sure, Wilma, I'll give you all you want. Give it all to you if you want." And I said, "No."
Oh, so he was giving the money directly to your mom?
He was taking it off the grocery list.
Oh, okay.
See, they would buy groceries, and naturally they had to pay for
Yeah.
it. So anyhow, he said, "Yeah, I'll give you." I was only making $8 a week. That's 8 hours a day, 6 days a week.
6 days?
No Sunday. So anyhow, that was okay. So he gave me about $3, and he took the 5 off the bill. So when she found out, she was buying me a coat on time. She said, "Well, you'll pay for your coat now." I said, "Okay, I'll pay for it." I paid $1 a week. Yes, sir. I said, "Bill and I kept that family for a long time."
Gotta get something out of
Oh,
it.
so Bill was doing the same thing?
Huh?
He was doing the same
Oh,
thing?
yeah,
Did
he
he live at home?
But
on his own?
he made more money than me.
He worked from
Yeah,
home?
no, he worked across the river. Bill worked across the river.
Doing what?
He was a pattern maker. The Shopton's where he worked. But he made more money than me. He paid so much to them, and that was it. But I never stayed with him after that. And then when I had Harold, I didn't stay with my grandmother. I stayed down home. And then when my grandfather died, my grandmother went down to live with my mother. Well, and Aunt Kate, that's Uncle Walter's wife, moved in their house. Well, they only lived in there about a year or so. So my mother moved up to the big house and didn't want to take my grandmother. See, that's why I had all that furniture. So I said, "Well, Grandma can stay here." But when I had Harold and your mother, and they were both small, you know, and this winter there's one. Oh, Harold would grab her broom. She would sweep the fireplace, you know. And my grandmother had these long dresses. And I said to him, I can't sit and watch her with two, because I was about ready to have your mother. And so my mother said, "Well, I'll take her up home, but I'm going to take the furniture too." I said, "Well, take it. I know that she's going to catch on fire, or something's going to happen." But they even went up and bought a little broom for Harold so he could help. So anyhow, she took that up, and then I had Bertha, your mother, and they took all the furniture. Jean Scanlon and Aunt Marie said, "Wilma, how nice that looks now. You just have the living room suit." They took the dining room set and my grandfather's big chair, you know. And, it was crowded before. I don't know how I would imagine with those kids.
Who was June Scanlon?
A friend. She was Aunt Rose's sister-in-law, to her first husband.
Because Laura's mother's maiden name was Scanlon.
Oh, yeah?
And they live up in Pennsylvania. It's north of Pittsburgh.
Yeah, they could be related.
Elwood City.
What do they do? They had relations that was an undertaker.
I don't know. I don't know. Bill Scanlon was.
Well, they had a brother Bill, but he was never married.
No, Bill was Laura's grandfather's name, and they eventually ended up in Miami. He used to run a tour going in there. But for a time, they lived up in Elwood City, which is.
Yeah, could be related. June's father worked on the river, and Jack, that's June's brother, worked on the river. He married my sister Rose. Well, they got divorced after they had their kids, and he married somebody else. I don't know. I don't even know whether he's living or not. But you remember Shanla, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's her grandfather, her aunt. That June is her aunt.
Hmm.
Well, they're all connected somehow.
Mm-hmm.
But this undertaker, they have an undertaker that's related. His name's Scanlon. They live up the river someplace. I don't know where. But I'm pretty sure it's an undertaker. S-C-A-N-L-O-N?
S-C-A-N-L-O-N.
Yeah, that's the way they stuck there.
Yeah, that's Laura's grandmother's name.
Yeah, that's the way they stuck there.
They,
So,
so what did Rich do for excitement when he was growing up?
played football
Did he?
for a while, yeah. He didn't like it, so. And, oh, your mother was very popular. I had a 16th birthday party for her. She had a little Jew guy who brought her jewelry. Oppenheim. His father was a lawyer. And I had it at the Moose. They had a heck of a good time. And, oh, I was there. I had spaghetti dinner for him. Oh, it was nice. They had spaghetti all over the place. Well, she was popular. She was popular.
How come she quit high school?
Huh?
How come she quit high school?
Well, she met that Audrey, yeah.
Did you know him?
Yeah, I know him. I
They
didn't
went
like
to
him.
high school together or what?
No, he lived in Denora. They lived up in Denora.
Well, didn't
I
she
know
live
she
with
went
Aunt?
with
Didn't
Freddie
she
or
live with
something.
Aunt Marie for a while?
No. She used to go up and help her. Cause see, Aunt Marie had her TB. She used to go up and help her with Joseph. I think that's what, I don't know. See, Joseph is, you'd have to ask her. I don't remember. But I know I would give her money to go up and help Aunt Marie with, Aunt Marie lived with me for a while.
Did she?
Yeah.
After she was married?
Oh, yeah. See,
With Joe too, or?
yeah. She bought her furniture, and I rented them 3 rooms. You know, then you didn't get nothing for rent. But then I had my dad and Alvin after they sold the house up on Marne Avenue, because they needed death for my mother, to bury my mother. She didn't have any insurance. So I took my dad's rifles with his grandfather. He had to have those rifles, and he never did go hunting. So anyhow, I put him in the cupboard in where your mother slept. Used to sleep, but then my dad and brother took it off. So Rich, he went up and he got those guns, and Aunt Marie hollered over and she said, "Wilma, I think Rich got some guns, or got a gun." I said, "He what?" I got in the car and went all over where I thought he'd be. Never did find him. I guess he was way up on the River Hill. I wouldn't even think of going there. So I went out toward Aunt Catherine, because there's all woods out there, you know, and everything. There he comes marching in with us a gun. I said, "Don't you ever do that again." I said, "I'm giving these guns." So I told Buster, you know, the grandfather, that I was going to give them to Archie to keep. I said, "I don't want him killed or killed anybody else." I said, "In the first place, you shouldn't have bought them. You never used them anyhow. Well, you can have them when he grows up." So I finally got them back after we moved down here.
Didn't he tear up a tractor one time?
Oh,
Boy.
yeah. Oh, God. Him and two other kids, Bobby Morgan and Billy Carson. They had, he used to go and I never knew half the time where he was. So anyhow, he come running home this time on his bike, dropped it in the alley, run in the house. I'm going to bed, Mom. First time he ever said he was going to bed. So pretty soon I hear a knock on the door. So I went and answered. It was police. So he said, is Richard Holt here? I said, yes, but he's in bed. He said, get him up. He said, tell him I'm sleeping. So anyhow, I said, you get down here. So he came down. We had to pay, and Yossi and Grandpa, we had to pay about $35 fine. That's the only time he ever got in trouble though, I knew it. But that was so cute. He said, tell him I'm sleeping. And he was up there wide awake. He got down through the riverbank on his bike, and the other kids got caught. And they told on Rick. Yeah, they told on Rick. So anyhow, they all had to pay. So when his dad came home the next day, I told him, yeah. Boy, he had to set the table and dishes and everything else. He said, God damn you, that's the first and last time we're going to pay for you. I said, well, you didn't pay it, I'll pay it, you know. But anyhow, that's the only trouble that I really know that he was really in, that we had to pay.
Mm-hmm.
He might have been in a lot of trouble, I didn't know about it. I can imagine he was, you know.
Now, how old was he when he went down to live with Mom and Dad?
Well, he graduated from high school. No, he graduated down here.
Graduated down
Yeah.
there? What made you send him south?
Why did he go down? I forget. Whether it was a girl or what, I don't know. I don't remember. But they don't, mother might know. But anyhow, he went down and joined the Navy after he got through high school.
Right.
Boy, did I get hit for that.
From Grandpa?
Yeah, he says, what do you I signed the papers. You know, I said, well, Earl thought it would be good for him, you know, and I thought it would be too. He said, you had no business signing those papers. He go over there and get killed. Well, then there was no war, you know. I never thought there'd be a war in Vietnam. Maybe he knew more than I did, I don't know. But anyhow, Rich got home before. At least he had his service in. And, I got heck for that. And when we seen him in his Navy suit, we were so proud of him, you know. Because he stopped up there and then he went to Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
And, I was sort of strict with him too, you know, because I wanted to know where he was. And I guess maybe that's why. So, then he got that motorcycle. That was another thing.
You get that while he was up there?
Oh, he got it was a little, what do they call them then?
It was a Vespa, wasn't it? Vespa Honda? A motor scooter?
It's a motor scooter, but then he traded that in and got a motorcycle. In his last year of high school. And the cop picked him up. And he had to have a hearing. He came to my place, you know.
Uh-huh.
And he had just gone into the service. He had just gone, you know, on the way for his
Oh, this was down in Miami?
yeah,
Ohio?
yeah. We lived down there then. And he said that when he comes, no, he says, is he due home anyway soon? I said, no, he just left. I don't know how long he's going in for his training. He said, well, okay then, forget about it. But he said he would have had to go to driving school or something. I guess he went through a light or something. I don't know what he did. but he had the motorcycle. And so I told him I wrote to him and told him. And I said, well, they said to forget about it, so. That's it, that's another thing he was in trouble with, but that's all. So I don't know what else you'd want to know, buddy.
Anything else you can think of?
No, I don't know.
Grandpa, your first date?
No, I liked another guy, but my dad said to my little, he said, we got everybody in the family but a Russian, and you marry him and we'll have a Russian too, so he wasn't too enthused about it. Oh, I met him after he was in the service.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, he came and sat beside your dad and your grandfather and I. He said, I almost married her to your grandfather. He said, sometimes I wish you had him, to him, you know.
Grandpa said that?
Yeah. And he was in the service. He was, oh boy, he knew cancer. But your grandfather didn't go because I'd had Harold. And your mother I had to do. But he belonged to the National Guard. Anybody that didn't have kids had to go. And he had a job that, you know, at that time, he had a job that he's working on those little boats.
Mm-hmm.
So they needed, you know, the haul coal and that. So that's the only thing that kept him out, or otherwise he'd have maybe been killed too. But, I don't know.
What words of wisdom do you have for your future generations?
For me?
Yeah.
Oh, I think they'll be all right. They get into the right company. I think a lot of it's company they keep. You know, if they get in with a bad crowd, they're going to go right along because they'll be called, what do you call them? Penny waster.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do think they have more to go on, but still, things are going to be a lot tougher, I'm afraid, you know.
Looks that way.
I do. You're going to have a lot of money to live. You're going to have to make a lot of money. These kids coming up today are going to suffer because they've had what you didn't have, you know. They have what you didn't have, and you have what your mother didn't have. It keeps going like that. So I don't know.
And everybody wants to start off having what their parents had after
Yeah,
20, 30 years of marriage.
they can't do it.
They end up getting into debt.
Yeah.
Trying to pay for it.
That's one thing I never did. I was always afraid, buddy, to go in debt.
Wouldn't buy anything on time?
Huh?
Did you like to buy stuff on time?
I'd buy a little bit and pay for that. Because I couldn't trust your grandfather to keep his job. I didn't know whether he was going to work. And I'd buy, like if I wanted to buy a living room suit, I bought it, paid for that. Same thing with other things. For their Christmas, I sent to Sears all the time. And bought it on time, and when I paid it, then I'd have it next time, you know. So that's the way I lived. Because I didn't know, you know. And I didn't want to buy stuff that I couldn't pay for because I never liked that. And I still do not like it. If I can't pay for what I get, I don't want it. That's what I told your mother. You know, they don't want to take any money off me. Well, hell, they can't keep it. I paid them, you know, so much. And if I have it, okay. If I don't have it, it's okay too. But I wouldn't live off of anybody as long as I'm only getting $400 and some a month.
Is it just Social Security?
That's all I get. I don't get pension.
Well, you did pretty well on that.
Yeah, well, I paid your mother. Of course, my brothers left me a little bit.
Did they?
And I never owed any bills. Paid all cash, you know, for when I buy anything, I pay cash for it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know whether I'm going to get my Social Security or not, so that's what I do.
Bush will take care of it. Old George Bush will take care of it.
Oh, sure. Like Reagan. Now, I two insurance.
Mm-hmm.
I got a hospital bill from up in Moon City. They, I went there, when I first had this, and it was $190-some, and I had to pay $96. But I had another insurance, but it didn't give it to the kids to take it. So maybe I can get paid for it.
Yeah, you should be able to file and have them pay it.
Uh,
Should be able to file now and have
yeah,
them
well,
pay it.
what I did over in where I'm going now, I gave it to them. I haven't got a bill there yet. And I bought a brace, and it was $145. I only had to pay $26 and
Under
some
Medicaid, isn't it?
Medicare. And the ambulance, I had to pay, it was $175. Medicare paid $100, and they took the other off all but $20.06, so I paid that. So what I owe over there, I don't know, but I let them give the other insurance. Yeah, well, it's going up $10 a month.
Is it really?
25, 25.95. That's you $2 every 2 months. And my Medicare, that's gone up. They give you a little raise, but it goes up. Your insurance goes up, so you're not ahead. But see, I never got a pension. After your grandfather died,
Mm-hmm.
I never got a
You weren't eligible for any of that?
No, sir. I got his insurance, and that was all. $10,000. That's all I got.
Well, you haven't done too bad then.
No. But I had to get a job.
Yeah.
I had to get a job. And I didn't take my Social Security because I wouldn't have got nothing. Because it didn't work that long.
So was Kim cover the last regular job that you had?
Yeah.
And then you cared for a lady
Yeah,
for a
well,
while?
I wasn't under Social Security.
Yeah.
But I had to pay income tax on it. And then I had to pay income tax. Like, I got my Social Security, then it was smaller, but I could only work up, I'd only get maybe 2 checks out of the year, because I was working, I was making so much, But I took it early because they say if you don't take it early, you lose money.
Mm-hmm.
So I figured, well, I might as well take it. So I took it when I was 62. But still, it wouldn't have kept, the way things are going up, it wouldn't have kept you.
Yeah.
That's all I get. I don't know whether your grandma Bostic is a pension or not.
I don't know.
Oh, she gets Social Security.
Yeah, but I don't know if Grandpa had any pension or anything.
In the olden days, like when your grandfather worked, they didn't have things like that. And he worked 20-some years for you and still. I don't know, they didn't have it. Now these guys, nowadays, they can get it. And if they don't get it, the government will pay them. Now they have a law that if they go out of business, they still have to pay that.
And your pension money is held,
Yeah.
and it's not touchable
Yeah.
for your debts.
Yeah, that's what it's supposed to be. And he belonged to a union. He belonged to Mastermaids and Pilots Union. So, but see, I didn't know too much about it. Just like your mother, she didn't know nothing. But your dad got, you kids, the younger ones got a good bit of money.
Mm-hmm.
I never got anything like that. Rich, he wasn't 18. He wasn't of age. He was still in school. His grandfather died in August, and I think they wanted to give me a few months difference, for Rich. And I said, no, he's only going to be on a couple months, and then I'd have to take him off. Well, and then I wouldn't have got nothing anyhow, so I figured, well, I might as well get a job. So, well, I did have a job, and he died. So, I'll never forget that.
What was he in the hospital for?
Who?
Grandpa.
He had this, But he didn't die with that. They operated on him.
Because he died a few days after the operation, didn't he?
Yeah, 6 days. He lived through a week. Marie was a baby.
Uh-huh.
Because your mother took me, because I didn't drive then. Your mother took me,
He was
and
at Palm Springs Hospital.
yeah, and she says he went to the bathroom. He wanted to go to the bathroom, and it was all bloody because he leaned on me, you know, and it was all bloody. And nurse just walked in as he was coming out. What in the world are you doing out of bed, Mr. Holt? I had to go to the bathroom. She said, well, that's what the bill's for. Don't you ever get out of that bed again. That was the last night. So anyhow, your mother says, we better be going, Maurice. Earl has Marie, you know. And I says, bus, we gotta go. Marie left, Bertha left the baby at home. And she thinks, you know, she's afraid to leave her too long. And he looked at me as if to say, don't go. You know, so looked up at me as if to say, but he didn't say it, you know. But I could see that look, on his face. So anyhow, I went home. They took me home. First thing, about 1 o'clock in the morning, they knocked on the door. And they had Rich with them. And they knocked on the door, and I said, now what's wrong? So they told me, you know, to come out, and they wanted to perform the autopsy to call him out there, you know, call out at your mother's. So I think I wound up staying that night, I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyhow, I was surprised. I was shocked in a way, but then I knew he was bad. But the doctor, I still blamed it on the doctor.
Well, that doctor was had some problems after that.
Yeah,
too.
he didn't. In fact, I didn't want him to get operated on. I said, "Bus, you don't need operated on. You."
What kind of problems was he having?
I forget what it was, but he didn't die from that. Arterial cirrhosis or something.
Arteriosclerosis?
Yeah, something like that. It only does.
It's basically hardening the arteries.
Yeah, but he was in Pittsburgh Hospital before we came down after he had his stroke. Too, and I don't know. He just didn't take care of himself. And he was only 49 when he died.
Was he really?
Yeah, 49. Yeah. He was just a young guy. Because I was, let's see, what year did he die? 1966. He was born 1930. He's figuring it out, buddy. That is 49.
66?
Yeah.
53.
53?
Yeah.
Well, then he was 53. Well, he's 49 when he had stroke.
Yeah.
Because he was sick 4 years. That's where I got all confused about the 4 years, or for the 49. Yep. Yeah, he didn't live very long. Everybody was shocked too, because he looked good, you know. Just like your dad. Who'd ever thought he'd go like that? I'll never forget him. I can see him with that nail on his chest.
For what?
He had letters on him. Marie had just got the mail for him.
Oh.
And he had it laying up here, you know. And Marie came over. I was watching Ricky at the time. Marie went over and said, Grandma, will you come over, go over and see if something wrong with my dad? She said, because I don't like the way he's acting. Maybe she tried to wake him, I don't know. But anyhow, I said, will you stay here with Ricky and I'll go over. So I went over and I tried to I felt his pulse. I said, Earl first, you know. And I didn't want to scare him to death, you know. And I said, Earl, you know, grab his arm. And try to take his pulse. I couldn't feel nothing. I said, Earl, are you all right? And I tried here, I couldn't feel nothing. Because they say if you don't feel in your Well, the doctor over there did it to me the same way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, girl, the nurse. And if you don't feel it, and I didn't feel nothing. So I said, well, Marie come over and she brought little Ricky. I said, Marie, run over after Eva. So she went over after Eva, and Eva come over, and I said, Eva, maybe you better call the ambulance. So she did. She ran over, and she tried to get him too,
Yeah.
you know, and called the ambulance. When they came, they pulled him out of this chair. You remember that chair yet?
Yeah.
Pulled him out of this chair, laid him on the floor. We were all there, you know. And he had these letters. They took them off of his hand. They tried. I bet that they tried a half hour. Fire truck come and everything else. Everything. Everybody was there. I guess they wondered what was going on. And they took it. Well, in the meantime, Eva had called Ray to tell Rich to come home. And hell, he was home before the ambulance was just leaving with their dad. That's how fast he came home from Memphis. And so he goes over to the hospital, over to get your mother. She says, come with
Was she
me.
at work?
Yeah. He said, come with me. So they went to the hospital. She said, what do you want me to come with you for? You know, she didn't know. And that's why I think he was dead when they took him out of the hospital.
Well, from what you're saying, it must have been.
I think he was. But they tried to bring him too over there.
Yeah, because when I got somebody, I don't even remember who called me at work.
What was you?
I was at working at GE.
Did you work with GE then?
Yeah. Because they called me at work, it was just a
Maybe
few minutes
Rich
before
or
closing
somebody.
time.
I don't know.
I remember Rich, but I got home and picked up Laura, ran by the house, picked up Laura, and we drove out
Yeah,
there.
you
And just pulled into the hospital. His mom and Uncle Rich were driving out. And they
Yeah.
They couldn't revive him.
Yeah, Eva, if it wasn't for Eva, I wouldn't have known what to do.
Mm-hmm.
But she said, I'm going over home and call Ray. So they told Ray right away, told Rich. And he must have traveled.
Yeah.
Because he was there before, well, the ambulance was just pulling out. He seen those fire trucks. I guess he didn't know what to think, you know. But anyhow, and I never forgot that. But I said, your mother said after she read the mail that Social Security, they turned him down.
Huh.
It was in one of those envelopes. If he didn't have a heart attack then, he would have had it then.
I think with him more than anything else, he just sort of lost the will.
Yeah.
Because, he had retired from Eastern.
Yeah, he
You know,
couldn't do nothing.
Couldn't work. I thought we were over there the night before because he was having a problem with the sink.
Yeah.
He'd been trying to screw this thing on the sink and screw it on, and I got under there and threads were gone or something.
Yeah.
He was aggravated with stuff because he couldn't see that.
Yeah.
His glasses and crawling
Yeah.
under the sink. I think he just
Could've
gave it up.
Too, you know, that, I don't know, he just, well, I think most men do that when they can't do nothing, when they know they're not supposed to do nothing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That's the same way with your grandfather. And, I don't know, but I felt so sorry for him. But I used to watch, when I seen that truck pull in, I used to watch him, you know. I said, well, at least he's home. Because I knew he went out to drink, you know. And I always, when I was over at Jackie's, I always watched for that truck to pull in.
I thought he behaved himself after he got out of the hospital the first time.
He wasn't as bad. Another thing, I never forgot your dad. You bring me the Sunday paper when I was in the hospital with pneumonia. You remember that?
No.
I had pneumonia real bad in the hospital.
What hospital?
Pilot.
Maybe I do remember that.
You were just a little kid. I had pneumonia so bad that I was in the intensive care for a long time, and then they put me in a private room, or in another room.
Yeah.
And I wanted the paper, so your dad, I didn't ask him for it. He just brought me the Sunday paper when I got filmed. I was in the hospital 19 days.
I remember that. Vaguely.
Yeah.
Must have been real young.
You was young. She wasn't that young. See, this is, Rhonda was a baby.
Oh, I thought it was real young then, but I
Well,
never
you couldn't have been that young.
No.
Rhonda was a baby because they all come over on Mother's Day. all of you. And your mother bought me lamps, vanity lamps.
I remember that.
And I think those are the ones. Those are the ones.
I
They
remember
had them
buying
upstairs,
lamps.
yeah. And Jackie bought me this round thing with snow in it.
Yeah.
A real heavy thing. Nurse broke it, or one of the girls.
I remember us
broke
all being there at the hospital.
it. Yeah. And all of you kids were there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Ricky wasn't born
Yeah.
yet. So that's, see, Rhonda was just a baby. She would be 18 next month.
So I must have been 11
Oh,
or 12.
yeah, you must have been. You don't remember.
I remember the Mother's Day. I
Yeah.
don't remember bringing
He brought you.
Well, we used to do everything together.
Yeah.
I mean, more so than him and my mom, I think, than
Yeah.
he and I.
Yeah. He always had you with him.
Yeah.
You used to say, that store on East 4th Avenue. You used to go there all the time. It was a food store.
On East 4th, Brandon,
No,
Stevens.
I forget what it was.
On East 4th,
Avenue. It's above
above
Medford's.
49th. Was it above 49th?
It was above Medford's. It was a grocery store is what it was. There wasn't very many grocery stores in Highland.
Oh, we used to always go to the Grand Union there on 49th Street.
Oh, that was afterward.
Well, that's been there as long as I can remember.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. Well, your mother might know the name of the store. But you know every store in town. Because I remember you saying, you weren't too old. Maybe it was when I first came down to visit.
Maybe.
Could have been. That was years ago.
Yeah, because there was a grocery store there on East 4th.
East 4th Avenue. Yeah. It wasn't Medford's. It was up above Medford's. It was owned by somebody. It wasn't a chain store. I forget the name of it. Now, your daughter looks like Bertha on that picture. When she was little.
Does she?
Yeah, with the bonnet on.
Yeah, a lot of likes those bonnets and stuff.
Yeah.
How many grandkids you got now?
I only got 6 grandkids, but I got 12 great-grandkids.
That's not bad average.
No, only for 3 kids, I think that's a good average. Wait till Richards get married.
3, 6, and 12. Huh?
Yeah. Yeah. Be 13 with Penny's new one.
Yeah.
Your mother counts bills. I don't count them.
We're not trying to keep up with Penny. She's on her own race.
Oh, I wouldn't. It's too hard to raise them nowadays.